All right, how's everybody doing today? So today's review is less of a review than simply my own subjective impressions and opinions, because simply I can't find a whole lot of technical information about this lens. This is a Chinon 200mm f3.5 in M42 mount, and there's just not much information about Chinon lenses online. I posted a couple of inquiries and some of the classic lenses groups on Facebook. Didn't get much in response. Apparently there's just not much of a Chinon collector community out there, which I suppose shouldn't surprise me. Chinon ain't exactly Nikon or Pentax. They were a budget brand popular in the 1960s, 1970s. They made equipment in the M42 mount in the 60s, and then in the I guess what it was, 75 or 77. When the K mount was introduced, they began producing equipment, both cameras and lenses, in Pentax K mount. They were always a budget brand. I wouldn't say they were second rate. Their stuff was okay. I don't, they swim in the same pool as, say, Ricoh and Cosina, possibly Petri. Petri, frankly, might have been a half step behind those two, but I don't know, that's largely subjective. So what can I tell you? Well, this lens is made in M42 mount. It's got a nice rubber focusing ring. The focus is smooth. The aperture clicks are smooth. It's got half clicks between each aperture. It has a switch here for between manual and automatic functioning. Not all M42 lenses had that. This one does. The branding on this lens is interesting. You'll notice that it says Chinonflex Auto Reflex. Well, it says Chinonflex, I'm guessing, because that was the name of a camera that Chinon introduced in, I believe, 1967, and it was a camera which was identical to this one. So in 1967, Chinon introduced the Chinonflex TTL, which was a budget M42 camera, again identical to this one mechanically and cosmetically for the most part. Chinon licensed the plans or the drawings for this camera to Ricoh and subsequently Cosina as well. I talked about that extensively on the first impressions video I did for this camera. So I'm guessing that the branding on the lens is simply intended to complement the branding on the camera. Although most Chinon lenses you see for sale on the secondhand market are not marked Chinonflex. Most of them say Auto Chinon or Chinon Multi-Coated or Chinon MC. That's the branding you see on most Chinon lenses. So I'm guessing that this was an early version introduced in the late 60s that suggests that it was probably single-coated rather than multi-coated. Nikon and Pentax didn't begin multi-coating until the early 70s. The likelihood that Chinon beat them to the punch is nil, so I'm pretty sure this was probably a single-coated lens. I have no idea how many elements it has. 4 or 5 probably. Most 200mm lenses of the period had either 4 or 5 elements. But that's just a guess. But it works well, and I'm very happy with it. I will put a link down below to my Flickr images. You do not need an account on Flickr to see the images. Anybody can click the link and see the images. I've got about 45 images I shot with this lens on, on Ilford HP5, Ilford FP4, and a shot with a model, or a few shots with a model in a park using Kodak Color Plus 200. And those came out really well. I was actually very pleased. This lens is reasonably sharp at wide open aperture. The portraiture images which I shot are all shot at wide open aperture. I think it's worth bearing in mind that 200mm can be a really good budget focal length for outdoor portraiture. Remember that if you want to blur the background, well, 3 things influence the amount of background blur. Number 1 is the maximum aperture, which in this case is 3.5. That doesn't sound too impressive, but the other 2 factors are the focal length and the distance to subject. So you can essentially, if you want to blur the background, compensate for the slower maximum aperture by using a longer lens. And if you're shooting outdoors, that's viable. And 200mm lenses tend to be inexpensive on the classic collector lens market. It's not an overwhelmingly popular focal length, The lenses tend to be bigger, heavier, bulkier, and they can be a challenge to use. You need a good outdoor space in order to use it effectively. So, but if you do have a nice outdoor space you can use, then you can get some really good results on portraits with 200mm lenses in general. Excuse me, and this one in particular, I was actually very pleased with the results. In terms of size and weight, this thing is, well, the only other 200mm lenses I own. I got a Konica 200-35, and you can see the Chinon is smaller than that one, considerably smaller than the Konica, than the Hexanon. And I've also got a Nikkor 200mm f4, so that's a half step slower and considerably smaller than the Chinon 200-35. So it's between those two. So in terms of size and bulk, it's not it's typical for its focal length, I would say, in terms of the the classic manual focus lenses of the 60s and 70s and so forth. Anyway, if you know more about Chinon than I do, please leave a comment. What's your experience? What do you know? How are the lenses regarded? I mean, this one, I think either I got lucky or were they just, maybe Chinon just made good lenses in general. I can't find a whole lot of information. There seems to be a minor cult following for the Chinon 55mm f1.4. I think I listened to one podcast which suggested there may be a bit of a cult following for that particular Chinon lens, but other than that, I can't find a whole lot of noise out there about Chinon lenses in general. So, if you're a big fan of Chinon and you know more than I do, which ain't too hard, please do leave a comment and let us know what you think. Let us what were Chinon lenses like? How are they regarded? Personally, if you're putting together an M42 system on a shoestring, which is kind of my goal, and you're looking for budget options, Chinon. I mean, I'm very happy with this one. I gave mixed reviews to that Petri lens that I used. That was kind of that's a little iffy, but this one's pretty good. I mean, it's nice and sharp, wide open, and I'm very happy with the bokeh and with the background blur. So have a look for yourself, and like I said, if you know more than I do, please do leave a comment and contribute your knowledge. And with that, I will bid you farewell. As always, I hope you found this video informative, amusing, or a combination thereof. And if so, please do like and subscribe. And as always, check out the links down below. Take care now. Bye-bye.